Riddle me this. Someone who had died a couple of years back, wakes up allegedly and signs documents which ratifies the movement of 13 billion shillings from your account. In other words, I want you to imagine a scenario where someone who had died is said to have gone through the audit reports, the financials being the balance sheet, the account statements, the bank statements, and profit and loss or income statements for KUSCCO, and saying these accounts are true. Whatever records KUSCCO recorded is true. That's the case that we are dealing with. And I'm sure you must have seen it on media or on social media, yeah? What am I talking about? Now, KUSCCO, being the apex body for Saccos, it is the Sacco of Saccos, yeah? There has been a haste, a massive haste. Funds have been swindled. These funds belongs to Saccos, different Saccos, right? There are certain Saccos which are a member of KUSCCO, the apex body. Now, KUSCCO's responsibility or mandate has been to champion the growth of Saccos in Kenya, right? Now, KUSCCO, of course, being a body, had its management. The management of KUSCCO, which is an apex body for some of your Saccos, of course, not all Saccos fall under KUSCCO, have allegedly stolen money over a period of time to the tune of 13 billion. So now I don't want to dive into the nitty-gritties of KUSCCO's theft or what's going to happen to KUSCCO. Of course, now it's insolvent. Insolvent means that it has more debt to pay, it has more liability than its assets. Some of us are insolvent in the sense that we have more loans than the assets we hold to our names, right? Now, that aside, KUSCCO is insolvent in the sense that if you are to sell all the assets that KUSCCO has today, to liquidate them, so that you can pay the people that KUSCCO owe, you cannot pay because it has more liabilities than assets, right? Now, that is insolvency. Now, KUSCCO, this 13 billion that has been swindled in KUSCCO is money that was, some of it, of course, a big chunk of it, actually all of it, yeah, is money that was deposited there. Some of it, rather, belongs to your Sacco. So how is this misappropriation of funds at KUSCCO going to affect you at an individual level? Yes, you don't work for KUSCCO, you have never opened an account at KUSCCO, but how is it going to affect me as Belin? I want us to take an example of one of the big Saccos in Kenya, Stima Sacco. If you've ever gained interest in Saccos, you must be knowing Stima Sacco. Stima Sacco is the Sacco that's started by employees of KPLC or maybe Kengen, whichever. But you must be knowing Stima Sacco. So if you are a member of Stima Sacco, how is the 13 billion loss in KUSCCO going to affect you or going to affect me as a Sacco member of Stima Sacco? I want us to have a look at Stima Sacco's financials so that we can understand it. But even as we do that, have you remembered to subscribe to this channel? Please press the subscribe button before you forget again, yeah? Now, Stima Sacco is a member of KUSCCO Sacco. And we are going to be looking at, is a member of KUSCCO rather, and we are going to be looking at Stima Sacco's financials for the period ending 2023. Why? Because that is what is available online. The 2024 audit is the 2024. I presume they are not done with the 2024 audit, so the financials are not ready yet, right? So working with the latest audited financials that we have, the 2023 audited financials, yeah, and their auditors, they were being audited by PricewaterhouseCoopers, which coincidentally happens to be the forensic auditors for KUSCCO, who managed to unearth the level of loss or the extent of loss that KUSCCO members have suffered, or the shareholders of KUSCCO have suffered. Yeah. Now, looking at the financials for Stima Sacco, I want you to have a look at this. Yeah, Stima Sacco had deposited some money in KUSCCO. Yeah, in their cash and bank balances, which is 559. KUSCCO is holding 1,000 shillings, right? Out of the 559,000 cash balances, right? But that might not seem like it's only 1,000 shillings. Let's look deeper. Stima Sacco also holds a fixed deposit with KUSCCO of 116 million. We have already seen that they're holding 116 in deposits. Apart from that, they also reported having invested in unquoted shares. Unquoted shares is shares that has not been listed in NSE for public trading. Yeah, they also hold 263 million worth of shares, unquoted shares. Yeah, and they also have an additional equities, which is also shares rather, worth 7.8 million, right? So in total, Stima Sacco held shares in KUSCCO worth 271 million, and they had deposits, cash balances in KUSCCO worth 116 million. Now, from the shares, KUSCCO was paying them dividends, and from the deposits, KUSCCO was paying them interest, right? Now that KUSCCO is insolvent, when a company is insolvent, it means it's unable to pay its liabilities. It's unable to pay its debts as and when it falls due, as and when they fall due. If Stima Sacco was to go to KUSCCO and tell KUSCCO, give me the monies that we deposited with you because this was Berlin's money, this was our members' money, we need to pay back our members, KUSCCO will not be able to pay Stima Sacco. So how is that going to impact you as an individual? During the same period, Stima Sacco reported a profit of 1.2 billion. And because this is a loss that has crystallized, KUSCCO, the money that they gave KUSCCO will most likely not be paid out back to them. It is a loss that has been crystallized. So in accounting entries, they are supposed to be providing for this debt. Not the debt per se, but for these assets. Yeah, because there's a possibility that they will not recover the money from KUSCCO. And what happens when you make provisions? When you make a provision, a provision means that you are recognizing now that there's a possibility of you incurring that loss. As a matter of fact, the CS had told Saccos to start realizing or to start making provisions for that possible loss, because KUSCCO is insolvent. There's a high chance that it will not, even when the DCI tries to pursue asset tracing, yeah, there's a high chance that they might not be able to realize or to recover all these assets worth 13 billion from these individuals or from the accused persons, right? So let me break it down to you, yeah? Stima Sacco would have to report a loss or recognize a loss worth 387 million. And how did I get that? The cash balances and the shares. Now, because this matter of KUSCCO came into the limelight in 2024, Stima Sacco can opt to recognize a portion of this loss in the financial period ended 2024 and then the balance of that loss in the financial period that will end in 2025. Or alternatively, it can also opt to recognize or to report this eminent loss, the 387, in the financial period ending 2024, so that come this year, the dividends which will be paid this year, January, is going to be slim. But going forward, there will be no more losses to Stima Sacco with respect to this issue of misappropriation of funds. Yeah. The other alternative will be for Stima Sacco to spread it out over a duration of time. 5 years, 10 years, 3 years. But if I was the decision maker, I would take a hit because my financials can take that hit. I would take a hit, communicate to Sacco members that we are taking this hit. Our profit is going to reduce from this level to this level, but moving forward, we will jump back to our usual profitability. However, because many Sacco members or some Sacco members rely on the dividends and the interest or bonuses rather that they receive from the Saccos, spreading these over 5 or so years could be beneficial to these Sacco members. Why? Because then the impact on the profits that Sacco will have made each year will be significantly reduced. So ideally, that is the impact that this KUSCCO saga has on you as an individual. So have you ever looked at your Saccos financials? At the beginning of this channel, I told you, but that is why it's important for you guys to watch my past videos, yeah? At the beginning of this channel, I told you, when I was starting out, I told you that before joining a Sacco, have a look at this Saccos financials. Does your Sacco publish? Do you have a copy of a Saccos financials? Is there any inconsistency? How is your Sacco growing? Are the deposits, member deposits, increasing over time? Have you ever looked at your Sacco's profit and loss or balance sheet to see what volume of loans have been given out and is non-performing, right? What is the non-performing ratio of your Sacco, NPL ratio of your Sacco? Is it improving or is it becoming worse, right? So have a look at your Sacco's financial. See if your Sacco is a member of KUSCCO to begin with. If your Sacco is a member of KUSCCO, what is the level of loss that your Sacco is going to suffer as a result of this heist, right? Is it going to make your Sacco insolvent? Is it going to make your Sacco loss-making? Or can your Sacco sustain it? How strong is your Sacco, right? Now, I felt the need to clarify that because I saw a video of a very influential person in this space, in this finance space, yeah, telling guys that Saccos are collapsing. You see, such can cause unnecessary panic. Now, with that video, it is possible, with such a video or with such communication, it is highly possible for members of Sacco, in fact, even members of this Sacco, which we have seen is strong and stable, to rush to Sacco and request Sacco to pay them their money. And what will happen when all Sacco members rush to ask for their money? Sacco is going to become insolvent. Why? Because when we all go to Sacco to ask it to give us their money, we are going to create a run. That is a run, yeah? And where will Sacco get the money to pay us? If part of it was given to KUSCCO, which cannot pay it back, if part of it was given to that other person whom I guaranteed, who borrowed money against my guarantee and cannot pay it back, if part of it was lent out to me for my personal use or for me to buy my car or for me to buy my house, of course, I cannot sell my car immediately to pay back Sacco. Yet you have rushed to Sacco, you have all rushed to Sacco asking for your money, creating a run. Yeah? So I would like us to be, even as we watch some of these videos or as we read content on social media, I want us to be woke, to be more informed. The essence of this channel is to get you as informed as possible. Even as you watch my videos, sometimes I might make mistakes because I am human. Cross-check with somebody else. Fact-check. Cross-check with the next content creator. Cross-check with the next YouTube channel, right? Cross-check with what Business Daily is saying. Yeah? We are all humans. We make mistakes. Sometimes it might be a mistake or it might have been a slip of the tongue that Saccos are collapsing, so we need to exit Saccos. No. Saccos are not collapsing. But does that mean that all Saccos are safe? Of course not. Some Saccos, like I know Metropolitan Sacco, which I'd also done a video on, had also been mismanaged. You need to be always appraised on the happenings of your investment, right? If you're holding Saccos, no, if you're holding funds in a Sacco, know what is happening to your Sacco. If you are in this MMF, know what is happening to that MMF. If you hold a bank account, and you have deposits in KCB, know what is happening to KCB. All right? Until next time, thank you so much for being in this channel, and let's meet on the next video.